A short flight from Da Nang took us to Can Tho, which is in southern Vietnam. We stayed in the Mekong Delta at Mekong Farmstay, which provided us with a very rustic, very authentic Vietnamese experience. Not many luxuries, but all the basics that we needed, and in a beautiful garden producing a lot of different fruits. We wanted authentic, and we certainly got it. We were absolutely horrified and devastated by the terrible litter all around the Mekong Delta area. Just piles of it unattended to in rivers and on roads. We took a ride to the following morning to the floating markets, which look a lot better in the photos on Facebook, but was certainly interesting, with lots of traders coming down 160 kilometers, some of them, down the Mekong River to sell their farm produce on their large boats, with all the smaller boats coming out to get wholesale prices and go off to the markets to sell them. Old people in Vietnam do not sit back on their laurels. They serve tea, juice, coffee, as well as various breakfast options right on the Mekong River. The next stop that we made on the Mekong tour was to an authentic rice noodle factory. This family-run business opened in 1982, and while it provides an interesting tourism opportunity for people to visit, it also allows the family to continue making an income from rice noodles, which they supply to all the local shops in the area. Fresh rice noodles are the only thing that the locals like to use in pho. They do not like to use any of the dried noodles that we would commonly use in Western areas.
Keep it down, roll it screen, you get it down. Yeah, very good. Good job.
After steaming and drying for at least 4 hours, the noodles are then put through a cutting machine in order to produce the ribbon noodles that are so commonly used in Vietnamese cooking.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, straighten up.
Natural colorants are used to produce colored noodles. After the rice noodle factory, we were taken to the Can Tho wholesale market because of my specific interest in food. Here, we saw some of the most horrific things that we've seen in Vietnam yet, and that's saying something. What we found the most frightening was this live seafood, with these poor fish, eels, crabs, frogs, anything that swims, moves, lives or breathes, available fresh for sale, alive. The markets here, you can bring your scooter in all the way, so hooting and dodging scooters is part of the procedure when you're in the markets. Our host was a very energetic individual, and after a short break, he took us off to an island where they have all sorts of traditional farming methods. It is somewhat of a tourist trap, and some of the methods that they use in the fish farming don't appeal to us, but it was interesting nonetheless to learn how to make crispy rice pancakes, popped rice.
Wait and see. Okay, roll it up quickly. Yeah. Don't waste your time. Okay, very good.
All using traditional methods.
Okay. 2, 3. Stronger. Yeah. Look up all the ceiling.
The coconut trees here are not very tall, so it makes it really easy to pick coconuts, and we found some of the most beautiful lotus flowers and were amazed to see how lotus seeds form. Opening a coconut requires skill and brute strength, but the result is deliciously refreshing. An extremely bizarre duck foot massage followed. Again, a tourist endeavor that we don't really support, but it was interesting nevertheless. And then it was on to dinner, a traditional dinner with some rather unusual food, some of which, like the chicken feet and gizzards, we left for others to enjoy. After that busy day, we took a full day of rest and then we were rearing to go to the cocoa farm nearby.
Cover and ferment.
This cocoa farm is run by a 76-year-old man and his family, Mr. Quang, and he has been around since before the Vietnam War, running his 1-acre property, which yields 3 tons of cocoa powder a year. The process was fascinating, and we had the most adorable little kitten join us on our walk around his cocoa grove. Next, we headed into Canton City and found that elderly women are the main reclaimers there for recycling. And we also found an absolutely spectacular shopping mall, one of many, very high-end shops with a beautiful supermarket as well. We said goodbye to the Mekong Delta by climbing onto a sleeping bus, which really was luxurious. We had been roughing it a little up until this point, but this sleeping bus afforded us all sorts of different luxuries that we've never known you could have in a bus before. As we headed into the more rural areas, it became very clear why southern Vietnam is the breadbasket for the whole country, with beautiful rice paddies and fields all over the show. That evening in Ho Chi Minh, we went on a motorbike street food tour, which was absolutely fascinating, being in the traffic on a motorbike. We had all sorts of wonderful, different, really tasty Vietnamese food. It did restore our faith in Vietnamese food, which had started to wane a little. Southern Vietnamese food is far more tasty and varied than its northern counterparts, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time with the lovely ladies who took us on this tour. Fascinatingly, street food is always served on kindergarten-sized tables and chairs, and for somebody who's tall with long legs, it's not the most comfortable arrangement. After a good night of rest and a delicious breakfast, we headed off to the War Remnants Museum. This museum is a must-see in Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon for the war that they refer to as the American War. The terrible atrocities that people commit against each other during war. Tet preparations are in full swing with beautiful floral displays, which we saw on the way to meet some new friends. And so ended the next chapter of our wonderful adventurous tour. Next stop, Phu Quoc Island.